800 years ago, a man named Allama Iqbal, a philosopher-poet, the soul behind Pakistan's creation. He warned the Muslim world not just about the West, but about the invisible hand behind it. He said,
"फरंग की रगेजां पंजाए यहूद में है,"
meaning the West's jugular vein, its very lifeline, is trapped in the claw of the Jews. Not touched, not influenced, clenched, like a lion sinking its grip into a throat, tight enough to paralyze, tight enough to kill if it dares to breathe without permission. That's what Iqbal saw a century before our time. And he did not see it from a distance, not whispered to him in rumors, not painted second-hand in books. He was in the heart of Europe itself, in Germany, in England, standing where the storm was gathering, watching with his own eyes as Zionism rose from an idea into a power. He saw it up close, raw, unmasked, undeniable. He saw how it was tightening its grip, how it was already bending empires, how it was already sinking its claws into the throat of the West. Iqbal didn't hear about it. He witnessed it, first-hand, face-to-face, with the birth of a force so powerful it would one day redraw the map of the world. Behind the Western freedoms, behind their talk of democracy and human rights, there was a silent hand gripping their throat. And history proved him right. Even then, Europe was already ensnared. Zionism had risen as a force so powerful that it bent the British Empire itself. In 1917, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration, promising Palestine as a Jewish homeland, not out of goodwill, but because Zionist financiers and lobbies had sunk their claws deep into Europe's politics. Even mighty Britain, ruler of half the world, moved like a puppet when the strings were pulled. That claw of the past was not a lobby in Washington. It was a network of Zionist bankers, financiers, and political kingmakers in Europe. Rothschild money flowing into British veins, Zionist pressure twisting the arms of politicians, promises whispered in smoke-filled rooms where empires were bought and sold. They controlled war debts, loans, the very lifeblood of nations at war. And with that control, they extracted their price: Palestine. But Palestine was not empty land waiting to be gifted. It was alive, ancient, rooted with its indigenous people, villages, families, orchards, generations. Yet the claw was so powerful that it tore them out by force. The creation of Israel was not birth, it was blood. It was ethnic cleansing, the dispossession of Palestinians driven from their own homes, so that a foreign project could be planted in their place. The West's jugular vein was in the claw then, and it is in the claw now. Because today, that claw has a face, a name, a machine: AIPAC. The Jewish lobby that dictates America's foreign policy, that decides whose wars will be fought, whose voices will be silenced, whose bombs will fall. Through America, Europe too is dragged along, helpless, obedient, unable to breathe without permission. That's why the West bombs what the Zionists want bombed. That's why the West funds what the Zionists want funded. That's why the West stays silent when the Zionist murders. Because if the West speaks, that claw tightens. And the West, it doesn't even flinch. Because you can't flinch when someone owns your lifeline.